or another?
No, Rodney was supposed to meet me here half hour ago.
What was it when you first read the script that made you say, I want to do this?
It's a gut feeling, you know. It's more that than anything that I can articulate, you know. Because you read scripts and they're good, but sometimes you just forget about it after a couple of days. But with this one, I just kept on thinking about it, kept on thinking about it.
It's a whole nother world up in there. Don't read of justice, and it does not include us.
And you were filming Dark Knight at the time, right? And
Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
Yeah. And you were coming back, so after you finished the film, you knew that you wanted to come back and do Out of the Furnace?
No, I actually told Scott I couldn't. I said, no, time-wise, it's just not going to work out. But I was filming in Pittsburgh for Dark Knight Rises, and even after telling Scott I couldn't, I still would take trips out to Braddock, which was like 10-15 minutes from Pittsburgh, just to walk around the town and get and see it and understand, you know, more about the script. And then I called him after I'd finished The Dark Knight Rises, assuming that he had already recast the film and was going to go make it, just to be supportive and just to say, hey, good on you, mate, great script, I wish you the best with it. And he said, no, I'm not doing it. I said, why not? And he said, well, you said no. He said, I told you I would only make it with you. And he really followed through. So I said, well, you know what, mate, I've got like 3 months free. And because you've stuck to your guns so much, and I'm blown away by his integrity, I went, I'll find the time.
Ronnie Baze's brother.
I keep on searching.
I ain't leaving without him.
Your training for this was arduous. What was that like?
It was early on, it was decided that he would be a very kind of taut, like, you know, wiry, looks like someone who's wound too tight, kind of a physical, you know, creature. You know, look like he can hurt someone with a punch or an elbow or something, and so you just gotta like do it. I gave my life for this country, and what's it done for me? Huh? What's it done for me?
And I think portraying this guy as a vet really, like, it's super touching because this is happening. You know, these guys coming back from being deployed. Did you meet with any vets or do research?
I talked to a lot of guys, you know, from like older Vietnam vets and guys from Desert Storm and Afghanistan and Iraq now, and there was definitely like a common experience that you know, I started to see a picture was painted for me of sort of what it's like to live in those circumstances, and then how hard it is to come back here and how little support they get when they come back to this country after serving it overseas in combat, and how frustrating it is, how lonely it is, how you know, what those symptoms are like. And that helped a lot in sort of shaping and reshaping the character and the scenes and the dialogue and all that stuff.
Now, why the hell you want to fight?
I just need the money.
You're gonna be a good boy and take a dive. I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson.
How did you come up with that voice and all those antics?
I don't know. I mean, I felt like a lot of that was on the page, you know,
Yeah.
that it was a really very fully realized character on the page, and then, you know, things like the lollipop and doing stuff with the voice, you know, those just kind of came along as we went.
Your mom teach you to barge in like that? You got a problem with me? I got a problem with everybody.
What do you want people to get out of this film?
I want them to realize that regardless of how tough your life is, and we all have a very difficult life, that there's hope on the other side.
I'm gonna do this one last fight, and then I'll be done.
Showtime.